Hi, I'm Sarah. I run a small handmade apparel business called Tulipán Originals, and today I'm going to show you how to do a pinwheel design, and you'll often see this in my embellished jeans. What you'll need for the pinwheel is a threaded sewing machine, a cutting mat, a ruler, your rotary cutter, some fabric shears, and then you can get really creative with your fabric. You're gonna need 2 different prints for this design, and I have 2 cotton prints. Both of them are repurposed. I think this was like an old shirt, so I'm excited to use it. Once you have your fabric selected, you're gonna cut 2 6x6 squares. So I'm gonna grab this fabric and I'm gonna cut a chunk out of it so that I can cut a square. We're gonna take our fabric, the 2 pieces that you're gonna use, and just place them fronts facing each other. Put them on the mat, and we're gonna cut out 1 6x6 square. So this first cut is pretty much just a straight edge. Okay. And then we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slice it there. Okay. Yikes, this guy is annoying. Okay, make sure your pieces are still aligned. And then we're going to cut another straight edge. And then count another 6 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to cut out a 6x6 square. Awesome. So there we have our square, ready to hit the sewing machine. We're gonna take our squares, make sure that they're like lined up nicely, and we're just gonna sew along the edge with about 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm not even gonna take it off of the machine, I'm just gonna rotate it. Do that again. For this last side though, I am gonna just sew right off of the square. And cut it off. Okay. We're gonna take this shape now and cut it into 4 triangles. And we're gonna line it up diagonally in kind of like a diamond shape, and we're gonna cut corner to corner to make 4 triangles. So I'm gonna take my ruler to make this cut super straight. Nice. Okay. Yay, so we're left with 4 triangles, and when you open them up, they are gonna look like this. And we're just gonna finger press them open. So next little thing that'll make our lives easier is to just trim off these little dog ears. Okay, so I got all my pieces here at the ironing board, and I usually just iron the back side first before I go to the front, just to make sure all the hems are facing the right way. So I'm gonna face them down, face down, and I'm just gonna iron the hems down all in the same direction. So it helps if they're all facing in the right direction. Just do a quick pass. these guys. So now the fun part, I'm gonna just place my pieces in the pinwheel shape, like right next to my sewing machine so I know what I'm doing. And then we're just gonna sew each piece together. I like to do it like half and half. So I'm gonna grab these two bottom ones, put them together. The seams should line up really nicely, like puzzle pieces. And then I'm just gonna sew along that edge. Right, and then I'm gonna grab top two pieces, face them together, line those seams up, and sew them together. Okay, great. So now we have two halves of them done. Place them together. Press these seams again so that they will line up once we put them together, like so. So we're just gonna line up those seams so everything's nice and tidy and fits together. And we're gonna sew those two pieces together. And we have our pinwheel. Okay, so now that we've sewed all of our pieces together, we're gonna go ahead and iron it. So lay it flat again, and we're gonna iron in the direction of like where our seams are naturally facing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So it's a good rule of thumb to do, like press everything with your fingers first before going in with the iron, just to make sure everything is nice and flat. Okay, sweet. Now let's turn it over and just do a quick little pass here. So your pinwheel quilt block should look something like this. After ironing it, it should lay nice and flat. It might take a couple tries, but this is a really fun beginner quilt block, and it's extra fun if you can find fabric that you've repurposed or collected or thrifted or found out in the wild. Tag me if you make anything fun that you love. I am on Instagram at Tulipán Originals, and you can check out my other creations on my website. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have fun with your sewing machines. Thank you, I'll see you soon.